Welcome to the 17th session for the series Test Automation Framework for Web Applications built using Cypress and JavaScript. In the last session, we executed our test cases in the CI environment using GitHub Actions. So we saw three different workflows. We were basically able to execute our test case in the Chrome browser. That was the predefined browser. In the second workflow, we were able to select the browser like from Chrome, Firefox, Edge, and Electron. We were able to select it and execute it on any of the browser. And in the third workflow, we were able to see like how can we achieve the parallel cross browser testing? How can we execute our test cases parallelly among these all browsers? Okay. Now in this session, we'll see how can we actually add the document commands to our code, to our methods, and how helpful are they to understand. Okay. So let me jump onto the VS Code. So this was basically the test case which we were using, right? Which we were referring for our automation framework. Now, for example, if you have written some method, obviously you have written this method, right? But if you do the mouse over here on this fill text box username, are you able to understand anything? I mean, yeah, the name is pretty clear, but still we are not getting the whole clarity, like what exactly this parameter is taking. Okay, what is the parameter? What are we trying to achieve with this? Okay, so what are the document commands and how helpful are they? So basically, for providing the documents, how can you provide? Just a second, like this. Okay, so what we can do, perform, we can actually provide the information for this method, fill operation, perform fill operation with the provided what username, right? Username, and the parameter is of what? The parameter which is taking of the string type, and it is a username, right? So it's the username to be used for login. In the same way, what we can do, we can provide it in the same way for the password as well. Okay, let me copy it for the login as well. But what are we doing here exactly? We're actually clicking. So perform which operation? Click operation. Click operation on what? On the login button. We can provide it as yeah. And it is not expecting any parameters, so we can remove it. Now you see when you have provided these commands to it, okay, and now if anyone inside the test case, now you do the mouse over here. You see we are getting the additional details. We're able to see like what exactly this method is doing. So it performs the fill operation with the provided username, and it accepts a parameter which is the username to be used for login. Okay, in the same way we can do mouse over on click. So we're able to see perform click operation on the login button. Okay, so what happens like majorly when we are actually working in a project, we write a lot of code, but what happens, we're able to understand everything. But when other person joins the team, at that time he or she may face a lot of issues because he or she may not be able to understand everything on the very first day, right? So this is really very important to add this document comments to the code which you are writing. For example, in the base page as well, you can add this code like clicking on web element, right? So you can provide this method message like clicks on the provided web element. For filling the text box, you can provide this message like clears the text box first, and then it is actually feeding some data inside the text boxes. Okay, so this is how see when someone does the mouse over, so they will be able to see the messages like this. Okay, the same is the way with this. I'm going to log in, and in the comment section you see in the cypress config.js file we are able to add all these comments, so it makes pretty clear to everyone that what are we trying to achieve. Okay, so that's all for this session. Thank you so much for your time.